teenagers at an Elvis Presley concert at the Philadelphia Arena in 1957. Winner of Miss America, Mary Catherine Campbell of Philadelphia in 1924. A boy knocked out by a diabetic coma is transported to a waiting room where his relatives can last time in 1920s. Wilma Jacobson and his friend built a beautiful snowman in 1930s. Mrs. Gordon Simpson and young racing driver Joanne Richmond sitting in her 1921 3-liter GP Ballot Racer in 1934. Children in the nursery school at the Farm Security Administration Family Migratory Labor Camp in 1941. Arthur LaKyle uses a gasoline torch to light gas jets that thaw out switches in the rail yard outside LaSalle Street Station in Chicago in 1944. Rolling stores brought the general store to distant farm families in Mississippi in 1940s. Elizabeth Gardner, a women's Air Force service pilot, in a B-26 bomber in 1943. A woman waits for her massive hoops to be completed in London dress shop in 1860. A sailor from the USS Oriskany proudly showing off his tattoos in 1950s. A young boy named Peter while traveling in East Germany around 1969. A girl getting her hair straight using iron. It was the only way to straight hairs in 1960s. Elizabeth Taylor, who began her career as a child actress in 1940s, photographed in 1956 during shooting of a movie. Men eating bread at a bread and soup kitchen during the Great Depression in 1930s. Generals watch former concentration camp prisoners demonstrate the torture methods they were subjected in 1945. A Chinese old man sits his cat on his belly and loves her in 1930s. A pile of straw boaters being carried by an employee at a Hatter's in 1928. 3-year-old Jennifer Adair with a book and a cute pose photographed in 1950s. Family evicted sharecroppers in temporary camp in Missouri in 1939. 2 young men posing with a human rickshaw in 1940s. Cheese department at the Crystal Palace Market in San Francisco in 1953. A man selling miscellaneous items including Star of David armbands in the Warsaw Ghetto in 1941. These 3 stone masons built an iconic monument in the world's largest sculpture park between 1929 and 1942 in Oslo, Norway. The aftermath of the Vietnam War, mangrove forest destroyed by Agent Orange in 1976. A woman arrested by police for serving alcohol illegally from her bootlegger's life preserver in 1924. Chicago police checking for violations of the bathing suit length laws in 1922. A thirsty gentleman takes a big gulp of beer to celebrate the end of Prohibition in 1933. Empress Elizabeth of Austria in 1862. Bosnian Muslims of the 13th Waffen-Gebirgs praying during their training at Neuhammer in 1943. Thelma Todd, also known as the Ice Cream Blonde, photographed in 1930s. A leatherneck give candy to a young Japanese boy through a barbed wire during the Battle of Tinian in Mariana Islands in 1944. A group photo of students sitting in their classroom in Indiana in 1949. Famous singer Teresa Tang dressed as a samurai in Japan in 1970s. Huge family of polygamist Rulon C. Allred with his 4 wives and all their children in Utah in 1944. Lucille Ball, an actress and comedienne, photographed in her house in 1933. In 1864, Charlotte of Belgium was offered the crown of Mexico but she was forced to flee and her husband was executed. Wojtek, a Syrian brown bear wrestling his comrade in Italy in 1944. Brother and sister at Ellis Island Immigration Center awaiting transportation to Manhattan to begin their new life in America in 1905.